Welcome back, guys. In this lecture we are going to work on the movie information page or movie description page or movie shows page, so whatever you can call it, so it's not a problem. So first of all, let's go to the pages and create a page. Movie, or else what we can call it, movie shows or movie theaters, you can call it anything. So here better to call it as movie theaters, or else theaters for movie. I'm giving the proper naming, so theaters for movie. So once we click on this, you will navigate to the movie description page, where we will have the list of theaters which are having that movie shows. Okay, movie for theaters for movie, index.js rfce theaters for movie. Okay, so go to the app.js. After home, I am going to write /movie/id :id. So theaters for movie. Done. Okay, so let's see. Done. So theaters for movie you got. So in that, first let me display the movie information, then we will list the theaters. So if I go to the theaters for movie, here also I need to have the const movie set movie. Initially it should be null, because we need to get the complete movie information like this. Here you can see, so this is the name, release date, duration, genre, date. So by default today's date will be selected. If there are any shows running with the today's date, so it will show the dates, theaters here. So there are no shows running for this movie in the selected date, so that is the reason the screen is empty. So first let's design the top thing, then we will work on the displaying the theaters. Okay, so go to the home once, index, copy all these things, put it in the theaters for movie, no error. So again go to the home, copy this, copy all these things and put it here, remove these also. So instead of movies, let's make it movie, and here also instead of get all movies, we need get movie by id. So we need to pass the id that we will get in the params. Const params is equal to use params. So params dot id. So let's go to the API calls, movies, add movie, update movie. So let's do that. Get movie by id. So post get axios.index/API movies get movie by id /id, or else if you want to send the post request also, that's up to you. Let's go to the route once, movies route. Okay, so I think we don't have that. Get movie by id. So get movie by id /id, fine. Try catch movie by id request.params.id. Here it is get request, so that is the reason we are taking it in the query parameters. Success true, movie fetched successfully, data movie, catch, throw error, success false, close these out. Done. And here also let's import this, get movie by id is also done. So instead of set movies, make this set movie. Perfect. So here once movie is present, I'm writing the condition. If movie is present, then only you have to render this. Okay, So I'm going to divide this into two parts. First part will be the movie information part. Second part will be displaying the theaters list. So I will write the comments also. Movie information here, then movie theaters. Perfect. Okay, so let's see the basic UI. So we need to highlight the name, language, release date, duration, genre. So I'm going to divide these into flex, class name, flex, justify, between. So here one more div. First one will be h1 dot text excel, that should be movie dot title, and in the language I'm going to write, sorry, in the brackets I'm going to write language. Perfect. And then after, remaining should be normal text sm or h1 dot text md. So duration, I will write the key and value. Duration, movie dot duration minutes, h1 dot text md, release date, movie release date, then genre. I think everything is okay. Movie release date, we will do it in the moment. So let's have the moment. Import moment from moment. So here moment of movie dot release date, dot format. So do YYYY. So I'm just writing it in a readable format. Let's see how it is looking. Done. So looking as expected. Dark Knight, duration and everything is okay. So let's go to the title part and make this uppercase. This is admin panel, ignore this for the time being. Yeah, done. So I think the color is looking very dark, so let's go to the star element. So default color I am going to make it as not the complete dark, somewhat kind of 4343. Yeah, this is better. So complete dark will not look good. Yes, this is fine. Okay, and instead of text excel, make it 2XL. Fine. And here I'm going to have the date, select date. So the second part, this is the first part, so this is the second part. So input, let's close these out, do. Okay, so I'm having a small text, h1 dot text md, select date, and here I'm just writing date, but before that let's have this as date. Fine. So this is okay, and here also min date should be today. Min should be today. So I think this will also work fine. Yeah, so you can give moment of YYYY kind of thing, YYYY MMTD. So basically HTML input will accept this format. Okay, done. So here we need a logic. So by default today's date should be selected. Okay, so let's go to the home page. Let's go to the home page. So if you click on this, anyhow you are navigating, right? So here just write query string date is equal to moment of, I don't think you have the moment, yeah, so moment of today dot format of YYYYMMDD. YYYYMMDD. Now you just need to extract this date from the query string in the theaters for movie page, and you have to give the default value for the state. So now here what I'm going to write means, I will write the comment get date from query string. So let, or else const temp date I'm going to write, const temp date is equal to, so this is the thing, so new URL search params, so window dot location dot search dot get date. So this is the logic you have to write. And now I'm just writing const date is equal to initially temp date, this one. So if nothing is there, it will take the today's date. Okay, that means even after refreshing you won't lose the date. So here I am just writing value is equal to date, on change is equal to e dot target dot value. And also after updating these, you just need to update the query string also. So navigate to movie/params.id and this query string, this should be updated. Okay, so let's go to the home page once. So here I am clicking on the avatar 2. So something is strange here, you got one more query string, one more parenthesis, yeah. Let's click on this again. Awesome. So here you can see date is selected. So if you come with other date also, the date will be selected. Now I am just removing this date and having our own date, which is having the movies 15th. So here also the date is updated. So even if I refresh the page, the date selection should be 15/1/2023. I am just refreshing the page. You can see 15/1/2023. So if you have some theaters in this date, so that theaters we cannot lose. That means even though if you refresh, you can see the same theaters. This is the concept. And these things should be aligned item center. So go to the theaters for movie, justify between items center. Perfect. So here I'm going to put one horizontal line to understand this. Let's have some gap, MB2, sorry, MB2, yes. So here I will first, here in this line I'm going to write the theaters, text to 2XL uppercase, 2XL is not required, XL is enough, theaters. I think the color is still looking awkward, the text color looking very dark. Go to the index.css, make this light, this is too light. Yeah, this is enough. Okay, so you have the theaters now. So even for the theaters I'm going to apply some MT1 for this, class name MT1, done. Okay guys, so in the next lecture I'll be working on the remaining things, that means displaying the list of theaters. Thank you.